Hello and welcome back to our continued adventures on the Let's Defend platform. Today we are tackling SOC300. Right to left override detected. Event ID is 276. Type is generic. It's a medium severity and occurred July 11th, 2024, 12:14 p.m. Let's see, this is underneath the incident responder path as security analyst is still entirely empty. Yay. Give me time to work on the IR side. Okay, so this looks like this affects Alonso. And let's see, processes 2024-report exe.txt. Yeah, that doesn't look sus at all, just off the bat. In the downloads, command line triggers with C Windows boot PCAT memtest.exe. We got a hash. L1 note file looks like a text but acts like an executable signing for further. Okay. Well, thankfully, that's odd. It was all the way to the right. And then it said, okay. It's just one of those interesting morning errors, I guess. 54 out of 72 does come back as an executable. It's like, wait, it's text. How could it be executable? Well, here's where we go to the left to right override. There we go. Refresh. So it looks like that's Luma Stealer. Luma. 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 Yeah, okay. Yes, left to right. So the MITRE attack framework entry for it. So basically there is a, is it Unicode? U plus 202 echo that will cause the reverse. So as we can see in how it's laid out, so 2020-report, it's got the reverse character, so realistically the file name is 2024-report item txt, or the Unicode txt.exe. It'd be like, well, crap. If anything can just show up like that, it kind of sort of can, which is why you'd have the detections, because just by looking at it, you wouldn't be able to tell. So let me bring up the VM that they give us, or the Windows host. So 2024 annual report.zip. Don't we have 7-zip? Yes. So if we open the archive, it gives us the how it actually is. So 2024-report, the reverse character, txt.exe. I think most of the zip file or zip managers will handle that now. Apparently the Windows one won't. Yeah, so the built-in Windows one will not. And you see it extracted out, 2024-report exe.txt, exactly as to how it was in the report. Now, for fun, can I make font? Here we go. Let's make it bigger. Hopefully that's coming through. So what I've done is just opened up a regular PowerShell. I did it with admin rights, but I don't really think it makes a difference. Gone to the downloads directory, did an ls, and we get the actual appropriate file name. Since it can't really render the right to left override character, it just gives what looks like a square with a dot in the middle. for shits and giggles, like, so if we go to downloads and we do dir, oh, okay, even the command line aspect will give us the appropriate. I was expecting that maybe it would be, excuse me, command line wouldn't. And then you'd end up with, something newer like PowerShell being able to actually see it. But no, so if you go back to old school command line and take a look, you'd be able to sit there and see it. Now, how many people are honestly going to go through and do that? Probably not many. I would reason to guess that most systems, current EDRs, current EVs, things of that nature, would probably pick up on it, hopefully. Now I'm kind of wondering. That might also be something for you to consider if you're in an organization, making sure that there's some sort of check being done for these type of things. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely malicious, at least according to Virus Total being the info stealer. We know it did the badness. Giant shock. So I'm going to bring up Event Viewer here, but we'll hold off on that. Okay, so we're back to this. If we take a look at login management for Alonso's machine at 172.16.17.243, pulled from here. There's only an OS and a proxy. It looks like of that going through and downloading from Amazon AWS. So they downloaded. I know. Giant shock to nobody. And then we don't have anything. There's no other comms, at least that was recorded. So I'm going to take a look at nope, nothing in the browser history. Yep, okay. So not really much of anything to share with that particular aspect. I was just wondering as to whether or not if maybe that might have been there, but okay, so we don't have that endpoint. If we take a look at browser history, we can confirm the download of the 2024 annual report.zip. We get a Chrome extension doing something. Oh, I never remember. I hate Chrome extensions as a whole. But just because of the fact that it's always these weird strings. But apparently that's a Sentinel-1 Chrome extension. Okay, so that, because it's Sentinel-1 agent, typically that's rolled out on these things. Or at least for the course of, I don't think they're left on. I think it's installed, you do the needful, and then you uninstall, so that way you're not constantly running up a new agent every time and running up a bill. Okay, so that would be expected. Then that was doing checks. When did this kick off? This detection 12/14? So we do have traffic that seems to kick off from there. Let's see, we get Chrome, so they pull it down. Heading in the right direction, yeah, it's going up. Google update, we get the report of them firing that off. The hash 091 ending in Foxtrot 71. Yep, okay. Chrome updater, of course, pick that time to go and muddy the waters. Because, you know, why not? TZ Sync, trusted installer. No, it doesn't show up, does it? No, it doesn't look like it did. Okay. I had a Discord pop up, shoot up. I'm like, oh crap. Okay, so assuming info stealer, then we can expect that any passwords saved in the browser, session cookies, and the like would have gone out. But the big thing is, okay, give me CrowdStrike does as malicious. Microsoft confirms. Kaspersky just gives it a agent. Sentinel-1 suspicious. Somebody else that I would take their word for it. Well, I guess all that together is probably enough. ESET doesn't call out Luma, but enough of the other ones do. Popular threat label, yeah, okay, family labels, we'll roll with that, okay. So everything's out. So realistically, they don't generally set persistence. It's a one and done. We're going to go ahead and just network isolate the machine now and not waste any more time. I mean, typically we would have hopefully got to this beforehand. Yeah, I'm just taking a look to see if there's sysmon events around that time. Let's see, we got Feb. We get today, the 22nd. Confirm 7-Eleven. Yes. Okay. Events on. As I just go fumbling through this. All I want to do is just set up. And then I'll just show you what I got here. We'll just take this all the way up to midnight. Still left with a metric butt ton of events. So like 80, no, 48,000. And just trying to sit there and do it to a time frame. Let me bring that back up. Just to see as to what else shakes out. So how are we doing this then? So let's just take a look. Oh yeah, the other aspect too. Email. I could not find an email to Alonso that talked about a 2024 report. So I don't know where this would have emanated from, and that's a little bit disconcerting. There is, the following day, a Project 2024 update that's sent to Garnet. But outside of that, there's Jack and crap, man, and Jack left town. I mean, in October, there's the Montague. There's a 2024 financial report. But again, no emails that I could find that went to Alonso. So it would be something to follow up with, like, hey, what directed you to? It would have had to have been some sort of link, right? I mean, give us the order of events here, because even with all the logging that we have, we apparently still missed the, however this came in. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but maybe some third-party chat application. I mean, we don't even have browsing history before that. Like they were out just clicking around and just managed to find. So just a lot of stuff standing up. When did this basically just fire off? We're looking at 12:13. All right, so here, in somewhere here. So there's Chrome doing a temp, task host, Chrome update, of course, to sit there and make things more difficult. Some heartbeats, some checks. There's the creation. No file stream created. Okay, as it goes. Then we get the some identifier, so file creation, stream. Doesn't tell us anything else, unfortunately. And of course, then we get the again Google updating just to make things difficult. I mean, it's important that since it's basically the data driver that it stays up to date. I know that Chrome's or Google's been pushing out emergency fixes. Seems like it's almost every couple of days, but it's important. It's important. So there's the creation at. So the unzip from 7-zip, and then target, so it swaps it. Wow, Alonso even opened it up inside a 7-zip and didn't catch that it was .exe. Of course, level 1, if they were taking a look at this, should have been able to sit there and pull the zip file, you would think. Again, unless it's like a full separation that, okay, IR is the only one that can go and touch disk. Yeah, there's the process create. Web data update checker, which is what we saw in like the file name underneath virus total. And then it kicks off. Yeah, the memtest. I mean, I guess effectively, if you need a malicious, or it needs to look like it's doing something. So I'm assuming if that fires off, oh wait, we got the Windows host, so I was just about to say, like, what if I just launch the stupid thing? The application cannot be run. So like, what if I just did this? So even if we call it, oh, that's not what I want. You're running as admin, so can you just... Because I would assume this would just be... Can I be running? Yeah, because it almost seems to me like that's the memtest that's done on reboot. So I mean, okay, steal a bunch of stuff and then try to kick off like a memory diagnostic. I mean, if it were to actually kick the stuff off and then process terminated. So yeah, nothing that looked like it left. Apparently Defender didn't have anything to say about it. So yeah, doesn't look like really we're gonna get anything else out of here. No web history, unfortunately, as to where this damn thing came from. But I think we'll go from there. And it looks like all it wants to do is just at the end of it, just kick off. So let's go back here. Let's take our ownership. Let me do a quick time check. Yes, okay, we're still good. This is a little bit airborne. It's still good. It's still good. Does anybody know what that's from? I think it's the same episode where it's gazpacho. What's that? Tomato soup served ice cold. Anyways. Review the alert details. Oh, you know what? Shite. I did not grab the needful. I'm almost disappointed in myself. A little bit out of sorts in regards to this, because I haven't had to do this in a while. Reloading the hopper, as it were. Okay, now let's do the needful, so I can refer back to this. Okay, so we go start the playbook. Examine the alert details provided in the investigation channel. Yes. Review the alert's activity timestamp and severity. For what the alert is, yes. All seems fine there, but if it is actually Luma Stealer, realistically, it should be higher. But again, this is looking at it over a year later. So VT is going to give us a much more rosier story in terms of detections, everything else along those lines. Firewall logs, yeah, all it was the pulling the file, the zip. There wasn't any other observed traffic one way or the other. Event logs didn't give us a whole hell of a lot. Just that it ran and then it's tried to spawn that memtest.exe. We took a look at the suspend logs already. That's where we got that. Potential defense evasion. It's a Windows. Abnormal patterns. What? I mean, I'm assuming masquerading, considering the fact that left-right override and what's given to us here in the MITRE attack. We'll go masquerading. Let's see. Evaluate whether IOCs are found. Yes. Is IOC? Yes. Determine the scope. Is there more than one affected device? Not that we could find. I guess the other aspect might be, okay, what is it reaching out to? So let's pivot. That's our event here for Alonso. So yeah, still left with the question of where did you get this thing? But more than one host? No. Should it be isolated? Yes. How did it occur? Well, apparently Alonso didn't appear to get an actual email. So that's the question mark. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Alonso downloaded a file, zip file in Chrome. He extracted it out. It had the left to right override, or right to left override. So it looked like it was a text file, even though it was an EXE. He ran it. VT tells us that it's Luma Stealer, so anything that was active and saved is out the door. Even though I don't think that there was any sort of hit for data extraction, so exfil. Um, God, now I'm wondering, cause what is what would we get? It's got to be what 22 to do a DNS request. So if I filter current log to EventID 22, and then it was the 13. So we're just gonna check for exfil. I mean, we're still gonna force them to change passwords. We're gonna go with this, assuming this is like a full Microsoft shop. We're gonna kill any active sessions. Anything that they would have been signed into, you change that password. So let's see, Sentinel-1. It's the 13th. Sentinel, WPAD, Sentinel-1. Yes, well after the fact of this having been killed off, or process term. So yeah, I don't see anything I would basically mount as exfil. But maybe there wasn't anything saved on the host itself. So, how did they, let's see, how effectively staff and management respond to the incident. A little bit disappointed that it wasn't followed up, like, okay, do a hash search. But again, a year later, it's going to be a lot rosier because everything has had a chance to sit there and fully rip it apart and get it added in. Staff and management do next time similar incident occurs. I would assume we would try to adjust our endpoint protection for if there's right to left, left to right, whatever the case is. Characters to just no, no, no. Past that point, I mean, realistically, it's going to come down to how did it come on the system. I had to download it, but where did the link to the thing come from? And that seems to be the missing aspect. So, yeah, taking into effect that maybe if they sat there and ran it, we can't take a look at the details from an earlier point, can we? I keep forgetting what's available in the free versus the enterprise edition. It's like, I know you can take a look at like various points in time as to how much it's detected. Okay, we can't do it the free, that's fine. We can just assume remedial actions. Again, where did the link to pull this down in Chrome come from? EPP changes. Because, I mean, we sure as hell can't block Amazon AWS. What precursor indicators should be monitored? Really, it's the right to left. That's what this whole thing hinges on. And that appears to be an actual case in regards to what this whole thing hinges on. Okay, artifacts. So we're going to do MD5, stealer. If I can type it, spell it right. I need the MD5 for that. Plop that in. Log management. Go through and report it to, I guess, Amazon. Zip URL. Because there's no email, we can't add any other portions because there's no observed network traffic back and forth. I suppose what we could do is, excuse me. AWS. I mean, those are rather weak, and we really wouldn't be able to hunt. I suppose maybe that URL we could take a look for if we've got something that's giving us full logs for URI. But I think that's about it. Notes. Alonso downloaded a zip and extracted and executed the EXE, hiding as a text file, right to left override. Passwords, sessions are to be considered exfilled and must be invalidated and changed. I mean, we don't have evidence of exfil. Now, granted, there might not have been anything saved when this stuff kicked off, which is why we didn't get to sit there and see anything. I would imagine it would be a smart thing for those things to do. Kick off. Oh, no session cookies, no passwords saved. I don't have anything. I guess I'm just gonna, fall back to, okay, here's a mem test for you, for wasting my time. Fish playbook. And let's try to finish it. It is a true positive. We will paste the same notes in that we popped in previously. Hey, we got confetti. Confetti's good. Apparently we got everything. Hooray. I'm not even going to try to bring up the security report because since this, I doubt that the 77th time is going to be the charm in order to get that stuff up. So, but apparently we got everything. IOCs, scope. Should the device be isolated? Yeah. I mean, good. I do kind of miss when they had just like the brief notes dumped in there. Is there a write-up? No. Okay. So there we go for July 11th, 2024. SOC300, right to left override detected. EventID 276, type generic, with a medium severity. As normal, I will include the links to the helpful aspects in here. So, like MITRE, might find a couple of other write-ups that have been done in regards to this and stick them in just as an additional learning assignment, or I guess if you have further interest. But I guess if there's ever any real concerns, you see something weird that's exe.txt or exe.whatever, then taking a look in command line PowerShell seems to be a fairly decent way to go through it. Although realistically, you would really hope that your endpoint protection would have picked up and taken some action, but some of the times this is the only thing that actually keeps you safe. Anyways, so there we go. With all that being said, I will see everybody in the next video.